say it, so I'm just gonna say it, yeah. Fear you don't own me, there ain't no room in this story, and I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not, like you know me. Well, guess what? I know who I am, I know I'm strong, and I am free, got my own identity, so fear you will never be welcome here.
Blessings, blessings to you, marvelous children of God. How amazing it is to be here in this new era. It is a new decade that we are at the forefront, and I welcome you to the I Am Consciousness Stroll. On this stroll, we will be tuning in to the truth of who we are, the spirit of the great I Am, the spirit of God that we have been neglecting for centuries. We have been focused on the flesh, things of the physical, of the form, things which we can see, yet we have ignored the truth of our being, that inner part of us that guides us, that enlivens us with vitality and new hope and life every moment that we are breathing. And yet, for so long, we have been ignoring the truth of our being. Greater is He that is in me than whatever it is that is of the world, that is of the form. Brothers and sisters, it is a new era. Welcome to this era and envision yourself in a new light, because I will say to you, Happy New Year, Happy New You, and a happy new me, because my desire is to see love, peace, and happiness reigns within our hearts and minds all the time. We are strolling into the new decade. Let's stroll in a new mindset, because if we stroll in or rushed in or jumped in as we usually do, we will only end up with what we have right now, or even less. So I am here to inspire you to tune into the truth of who you are, the Spirit of God. That's where we must take time to commune, to anchor into the source of all universe, universal oneness, universal light. So as we move into this new decade, let's tune in, let's spend more time and reflect on our truth, remove all the illusions, the false beliefs. Because of societal laws, our parents and our parents' parents adapted those principles and taught it to us. So we have not been taught the truth. We have been taught on others' perspective, on others' tunnel vision. What I'm saying to you, expand your vision. It's time for a new you. But you must make a change consciously. Make your habits before your habits make you unconscious. This is the stroll that we are on. I know that many of us have been excited and just enthused to be into the age of 2020. Why are you so excited to the new year? Have you ever asked why? Has it made a difference in your life of every year that you deem a new year? Has it made any change in you because it's a new year? These are realistic questions that you need to ask yourselves if you are intending on making a conscious change. Because for years, I too have been writing up my resolutions and burning up what I don't want and, praying on what I want. However, it's not just about what we want. It is about our intention, the true intention, the one that lies in the core of our being, the one that remains dormant, that we give little attention to because we do not take the time to tune in. So I'm asking you for you to make a change for this new decade, 2020, and forward in the right direction. As you stroll along with me, you must be consciously uprighting yourselves, because that is my desire. My desire is for us to know who we are, be empowered by our own spiritual gifts that God has placed within us. Only when developed will bring us to the enlightenment, will take us into the enlightenment of our truth. Only when these 12 spiritual attributes are developed will we be able to hold on to what we have envisioned and see it manifest and becomes our life reality. But before we can get to this point, my brothers and sisters, you know that there are steps that you have to take. You know that we cannot just jump from point A to Z, because we have started the stroll now over 6 months. We have covered the attributes of love, order, understanding, elimination, faith, strength, and now we are on the attributes of imagination. I am imagination. I see the invisible good in all things, all people, all life. Let's ponder upon that. And I know that this might be new to some of you. However, if you just stay tuned into your truth, into the I am of your being, you will actually be able to manifest all the good that you desire. Now, as we moved into 2020, on the I Am Consciousness Stroll, I am excited because on this, we are not running or jumping or leaping into 2020. We are strolling in consciousness. We are seeking the truth of who we are, and we are awakening to this truth within us that guides us to our good, right here on earth. And as we make our resolutions for so many years and see very little of it manifest, how does that make you feel? Then it makes you may think that you are powerless. You're not able to do what you say you want to do. My brothers and sisters, I'm here to remind you that whatever you think about, you can bring about. But it is a consciousness stroll. You cannot just simply use your mind, the power of your mind, to bring things into fruition. Yes, we are taught about the law of thinking, the law of positive thinking, the law of giving and receiving. There are several universal laws we're taught. When practiced, we have expectations, yet some of us don't see anything manifest or revealed upon practicing. Then we get discouraged and start to beat up on our own selves, start to criticize the magnificent being that you are. I am here to remind you that on this I Am Consciousness stroll, you will put all the fears behind you. You will start to move forward in love, in the light of the Spirit of God that is within you. Because that's what we are. We are spirit. And the spirit is energy. It's all light. But we must first be able to grasp that consciousness. For generations, we have been focusing on the form and the phenomena. Now I'm asking you to shift your attention to the formless that will also manifest form and phenomena in your life, world, and affairs. It's not an easy shift. However, it's simple because we cannot see God and we have been praising this deity, God, the supreme being for life. We deem God as omnipotent, all-powerful, omnipresent, everywhere present, omniscient, all-knowing. Just imagine. That is the God that created the universe. And I may change that. That is the God that is the source of the universe, the source of all there is. And so, as we move forward in this I Am Consciousness stroll, I am asking you, my brothers and sisters, to simply take time to tune in by sitting in stillness, quieting the mind. Yes, quiet the mind that envisions all your desires. Still that mind and shift it into your heart space. And in that stillness, only see the light, the soul of who you are, the source of all there is. And when you do that, my brothers and sisters, you can either reflect, introspect, but basically what you're doing, you are going to the source. And it is in that stillness that you will be guided. I don't know how, but you will be guided. You do not have to focus on the destination. You only have to enjoy the journey. trusting that there is a higher source, there's a higher power that is greater than all life, that is aware of your intention, that will synergize and harmonize and bring it into fruition at the right time. How often have we dreamed? How often have we made goals, set goals? How often? Almost every day. Are they being manifested? And if not, do you know why? These are questions that you can even ask when you are in stillness. Ask any question that you want. And as we move forward into this new era, I am suggesting to you all to ask big questions. What is my highest good? What is there for me to do that will benefit the collective? How can I go about it? These are questions that you can ask, and you will get the answers. But first, my brothers, you gotta clean out the clutter. You have got to get rid of the negative. As I said, we are on a new trajectory on this I am consciousness stroll. We want to be in tune with the truth of who we are. And the truth of God carries no lies. It entertains no jealousy, no maliciousness, no resentment, no hysteria, no gossips. We must change our mindset. And so, while we ponder upon all the good that we desires, we also must assess what is blocking us. Because see, all these negative parts of us that is generated and governed by greed and fear, that has nothing to do with the Spirit of God in us. However, whenever you are feeling any of those uncomfortable feelings, do not ignore it, because it is there to remind you that something is out of alignment with the truth of who you are. So take the time to explore and ask God to reveal it to you if you are unconscious to that which it is showing you. Do not deny the uncomfortable feelings. I know that it's not easy. It is very difficult to stay with the feelings that are painful. Stay with the thoughts that are debilitating, because that's what negative thoughts are. They are debilitating. They break us down. You do not have to stay with those thoughts, but you need to explore where they're coming from and what needs to be attended to. And when you do that, my brothers and sisters, you will find that you will move freely into the future. We must move with clarity. How do we gain clarity with the clutter? It's not possible. But with God, all things are possible. So this is why you tune in and seek and ask. When we become familiar with the law of thinking, we will realize that what we think about, we bring about. And a lot of the negatives that are showing up in our lives, world and affairs, it is because of how we are thinking. So we must eliminate the negative thinking. Eliminate all that is unlike God. See love as the North Star that guides you. It is my North Star. Love. Where there is love, there is no fear. And we are definitely leaving fear behind. We are leaving all those little voices that tells us all the things that we can and cannot do. We are just working with our truth and with our intention that guides us into the source. Our intention must be good. The law of thinking is powerful. It brings forth whatever we plant in it. So I'm asking you to be aware of what you are sowing. Be aware of the seeds that you are sowing in your mind, because they are being germinated and they will grow and they will choke all the good when you are trying to achieve it. Be mindful, my brothers and sisters. Matthew 18:3 says, unless you become like little children, you will not be able to enter the kingdom of heaven. And so here I'm suggesting to you, start dreaming. Start dreaming again like little children. Start realizing that it's not a competition. It's only about love, kindness, compassion, peace, harmony. And this generates all the good that our hearts desires. Start dreaming again. Let us dream of all the wonders of the world, of the universe. And so as I suggest us to start dreaming and to use our imagination, there is a teacher that I admire greatly. His name is Deepak Chopra. His words awes me because I feel it in my soul. I actually can relate when he writes. I will share this with you. However, he's not the first, because I am a New Thought student for over 25 years. That I've heard several teachers, and my minister from Universal Truth Center in Miami at the time was Dr. Reverend Mary Tompkin, and she was amazing. She was a Bible-thumping minister, and she taught us well. She encouraged us to also practice what she was teaching us. So if you were practicing it, then you will be able to demonstrate. So Deepak is not the first, and even if I may go back to my childhood before I was introduced to New Thought, I will say that the first person that taught me the awareness of universal oneness is my famous, legendary Bob Marley. He taught us about one love. Everyone who sing that song, I am awed, because I believe that in some little way, there may be a shift in consciousness. Because for myself, even when I was singing that song as a youngster, One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. You know, my brothers and sisters, I was singing it. It brings joy into my heart. It stimulates the dopamine, it stimulates the serotonin, it stimulates all the happy hormone transmitters that gives me the happiness. We didn't know that, but it did that for us. So on this I Am Consciousness Stroll for the new decade of 2020, I am asking you to shift your conscious awareness from the physical to the formless, to the spiritual. And so the practice that I have learned from Deepak, which I will share with you right now, is a consciousness shift. Try to obtain stillness in mind. You can listen to me as I speak, but I'm just gonna guide you into taking some deep breaths. Take some slow, deep, even breathing. Breathe into the belly. As you are breathing, try to follow your breathing, your respiration, and follow the flow. Feel the flow as you go with your breathing. Still your mind and shift it into your heart space, where that light glows bright. It's illuminating every cell, every fiber of your being as you focus on it. And in this consciousness of stillness, imagine I am one with the universe. The core of my being is the ultimate reality, rooted and grounded in the source of all there is. Take a minute in stillness and imagine. You can imagine whatever you want. You can be stars, galaxies. I don't know if you know this, but there are stars that are bigger than Earth. One's called Betelgeuse. Imagine one star bigger than Earth. Now, I am the universe. God is the universe. I am one with God. I am one with all life. I am one with all people. I am one with the One. Imagine. You see, my lovely people, when we imagine and take time to focus our attention on the truth of all there is, you will find peace and you will be guided. Start imagining expansively. Start imagining for the collective. Start to see peace, love, harmony, joy, compassion, kindness, affection, passion, all the attributes of God. My brothers and sisters, start to plant seeds of righteousness, to upright our consciousness, so that we can live a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. It cannot be that way when we are focused on the physical. It will not be a happy, healthy life. And as we move into 2020, most of our resolution is for our mental health, our physical health, her wellness, her family, or finances. How much of us put spirituality in our resolution? How much of us want to seek higher spiritual awareness of ourselves? Spirituality should be on top of your list. Why? Because if you are one with the universe, you know that you're interconnected and interdependent on all there is. And all there is energy. The spirit of the I am. Energy. How can you be one with the universe? It's a conscious flow of energy. How can you draw from the universe? You must tune into that conscious awareness of energy. So the universe is continuously providing for us, and yet most of us pay little attention to it. We are takers. What are we giving? Let's focus on what we can give back. I am the universe. The core of my being is the ultimate reality. Rooted and grounded in all that there is, the source. And when you ponder upon that, you will also visualize the second principle from Deepak. He suggested to imagine that you are connected to everything that exists. That's basically what I've been suggesting to you, because it is the truth. We are interconnected and interdependent. What Deepak says, if you put an animal in a vacuum, it will not live, an animal or a plant. But if you put two animals in a vacuum, it will survive. It cannot exist without the other. So basically, we have to see ourselves interconnected. We cannot exist if the tree doesn't exist. We won't exist if the wind don't exist. Imagine. So this is taking you from a egotistical consciousness into a more spiritual awareness, the oneness of the I am. The third thing he suggested is that imagine that you are a crystal bead and you are a reflection of all the other beads that is attached by the thread. What is that thread? It is awareness. You and I are the same. Awareness. We only have different experiences. Imagine that crystal bead. Everything is attached to you. When you move, everything else moves. What you're reflecting is a reflection of the other. And what the other reflects is of you. Imagine. And so when we take ourselves away from the physical and invest some time into the spiritual aspect of our being, we will see significant changes in our lives. When we practice to envision for the collective, we are empowering not only ourselves, but we are sending out the energy that empowers others. I share these with you, my brothers and sisters, because when you practice to tune into the Spirit of God in you, and you empower yourselves with these spiritual intentions that are for the greater good, you will actually experience spontaneous unfoldment of your desires. What I'm asking you to do is not just write them down. See yourself living your desires. See yourself being what you have desired to become. See yourself demonstrating and others admiring your truth. So once you start to experience the feeling of living in the lifestyle of your heart's desires, it will manifest. And once you take actions and direct steps to see it come through, believe in yourself that it will come true. Believe kills and believe cure. It is what you believe. My brothers and sisters, start believing the truth of who you are and stop when you believe what others are saying, because there are many false prophets and they will tell you this and tell you that. But you know the truth because the Spirit in you will guide you. Know what you are focusing your attention on. Know what your thoughts are. Know your opinions. Know your feelings. Know your judgment. Know your beliefs. And know your behaviors. Know who you are so that you can make the right change, the conscious change rather, that will upright yourselves into the truth of who you are. And then you will have a new you. I am working towards a new me. Every day, I am uprighting my consciousness. How about you? Stop putting the limitation on yourselves of what you can and cannot do. You are unlimited. There are no chains to bind you other than the mental chains of your mind. It is what you believe that will bind you. Break those chains. Break those beliefs. Know who you are. A beloved child of a loving Father. A rich child who is the heir to the kingdom of God. All of God's good, right here on earth. Imagine only the best. You are deserving of it. I love you. I bless you and I appreciate you. Go shine your light and shine bright for everyone to see.